everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm here doing the Astrology Insight for the week of October 5th. On October 6th, we have the full moon at 14 degrees Aries in 8 minutes, going exact at 10:47 p.m. Central Time. And then on Wednesday, October 8th, we have Venus in Virgo, sextile Jupiter in Cancer. And then on Saturday, October 11th, we have Venus in Virgo opposing Saturn retrograde in Pisces. On Monday, October 6th, we have the full moon at 14 degrees Aries in 8 minutes, going exact at 10:47 p.m. Central Time. So while the full moon is in Aries, it means that the sun is in Libra, shining its full light onto the moon. So we are focusing on the Libra-Aries axis. So as the sun is in Libra, having us focus on how we weigh out in social situations, how we harmonize groups of people, and really ultimately, where do we stand out in these social gatherings? Who are we? How do we harmonize and bring balance to these social organizations? We get this full moon in Aries, which says go 100% forward, be an individual, show who you are, don't be afraid to stand out. And that's kind of what this full moon is really about. It's allowing yourself to be an individual, to stand out, and to really just be yourself without any sort of inhibition, because when we recognize who we are in social communities, social gatherings, we really get to amp that up more because we recognize how do we harmonize, what do we bring to community and social organizations and gatherings. And also doubling down on that is that we have this full moon ruled by Mars in its own sign of Scorpio. So this brings a lot of passion and drive to get out there and really show who you are. Don't be afraid to be an individual and have fun, try new things, and just experience and get to know yourself today. On Wednesday, October 8th, we have Venus in Virgo, sextile Jupiter in Cancer. So all around today, it's a wonderful day to enjoy your relationships, to enjoy happiness, to have a good time. It is a sextile, so it means that this energy isn't extremely pronounced, but it is there should you choose to lean into it. We have Venus in Virgo, really narrowing in on what we value, what we cherish, what matters to us, what we want to have a relationship with. And that is a nice sextile to Jupiter, which helps us have a deeper connection to the remembrance that our life is sacred and that we have a deeper, profound meaning of why we are here on this planet. So overall today, it really does say cherish your relationships, cherish the things that you value, really look at what matters the most to you and allow that to give you a better sense of remembering your life is sacred and that you can only put your energy into so many things, and it ought to really add to that understanding that your life is sacred and that there's more to the reason why you are here than just existing in this human form. On Saturday, October 11th, we have Venus in Virgo opposing Saturn retrograde in Pisces. So today might be a hard day for relationships and connections because we have Venus in Virgo, which Venus is not necessarily happy in Virgo. She is in fall in Virgo. And then we have Saturn in Pisces, and Venus is actually exalted in Pisces. So she does receive Saturn. However, this relationship is one where Venus has to acknowledge she can't have everything. We must have limitations. We must have boundaries. We must lay them down so that our boundaries are respected. So today can be a day where you finally have to acknowledge you've got to put up some boundaries. You have to say no to things that maybe are fun. Maybe they bring you joy. Maybe they bring you abundance in some way, but they're not necessarily adding value to your life. And it's important to recognize that limitation and say, I need to say enough is enough. So as Venus is meeting Saturn today, really acknowledge, where do you just overindulge? Where do you need to lay down some boundaries? Because you've noticed perhaps even in the past that these boundaries needed to be set and perhaps you did not set them. But now that you have a better understanding of what you value and what has meaning in your life, it ought to be a little easier at least to say, I don't need all of this excess because it doesn't actually add value to my life and I don't cherish it like I cherish these things. So keep that in mind today. Like I said, it can be a trickier day, but just have that in your awareness so that it can be a little bit easier. If you'd like to schedule a personal reading, you can contact me at 11kaivarose33.com.